Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Milton here to do another video. This time I'm doing a movie review, and the movie is titled Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi. This movie was released May 25th, 1983, and it's directed by Richard Marquand, and it stars Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, Peter Mayhew, Kenny Baker, Frank Oz, Sir Alec Guinness, David Prowse, and also have newcomers such as Ian McDiarmid and Sebastian Shaw. This movie takes place a year after The Empire Strikes Back, and it shows the development of the Rebels, the development of Luke, and the development of Darth Vader, and the first appearance of the Emperor himself. So this movie is one of my favorites. Takes place a year after Empire, and it's one of my favorites because we got to see a lot of character growth and development. The likes about this movie are pretty simple. Luke Skywalker is a badass. His growth from Empire until Return of the Jedi has dramatically has leaped. His powers have grown, his confidence has grown, and this is a good example of it. When we first see Luke in this movie, he's introduced by walking in Jabba's palace to come rescue Han Solo, and you see him encounter these two guards and he force chokes them. When do we ever see that? That's a Sith technique. The last time we seen a Jedi use that technique was Anakin Skywalker, and that should tell you something. That should say that, oh wow, that's really Anakin's kid, because he has the same tendencies as Anakin to delve into that dark side, but Luke pulls himself back. He doesn't really go into that. He uses the technique, but that's all he does. He doesn't use it to be malicious. He uses it to make a point. Another thing about Luke is just his ability to fight in this film. It's so much better. He's not just hacking away. He's using the lightsaber better. Is he the greatest lightsaber duelist of all time? No. I think Anakin's way better than him. But you see that he's matured as a lightsaber duelist and he's gotten better. You clearly see that he's trained over that year. And his lightsaber should tell you, because his lightsaber that he built and he constructed, it looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi's pretty much. It's just now it's green. That was pretty cool to see that, that the movie tells you that, yeah, over this year he's trained. He went back to Obi-Wan's house, found his books and his notes, trained by using that stuff, and built himself a lightsaber, which is something that a Jedi needs to learn how to do, which is pretty badass. Another good thing about this film, the development of Darth Vader, seeing him was pretty cool. Just see that how Darth Vader is now starting to become more of a human. And what I mean by that is that he's now starting to, have some feelings. He didn't kill his son for a reason. Now he's conflicted throughout this whole movie when it comes to speaking about his son. You can see him talking to the Emperor about this, and you see that he's very conflicted when he talks about his son, because he doesn't want his son to be a part of this, but because he wants to train his son himself. It was cool to see that Darth Vader just went from a badass to a sympathetic character. Just seeing that Anakin is still alive in him. And Luke said it throughout the movie. They're still good in him. Padme says it in the prequels. They're still good in him. So, that's a theme throughout the whole film, which is pretty cool. I'm happy that ties back into the prequels. Another cool thing about this film is the introduction of Emperor Palpatine. Now, technically, we did see him in Empire Strikes Back, but we didn't see him physically. This was really cool to see him in person, because you just saw how frail he looked, but that's all an act. That mofo is powerful as hell. He's always in control, and he's by far the most patient villain of all time in movie history, in my opinion. Because even from the prequels, and I'll get to those reviews later throughout the weeks, but even in the prequels, as Senator and Chancellor Palpatine, he just let his plans develop. He doesn't rush anything. He takes his time. And when something does go wrong, he still takes his time. He's composed. He's like a KG vet. You know what I'm saying? He just knows when, I'm going to step back and let the game come to me. He knows when to take good shots, using a sports metaphor. And he's good at knowing when to just manipulate things and don't go his way, which is awesome to see. And he does that throughout the whole film. He manipulates Luke into fighting Darth Vader. He almost pushes Luke over the edge to becoming a Sith, but he should have shut the hell up and just let Luke kill his father. But he was talking too much, like villains do, and Luke was like, well, I can't do it. So he's the reason why Luke didn't go to the dark side, in my opinion, but it is what it is. So that was cool to see how Emperor Palpatine's in the picture. It was cool that they brought back the Death Star. And, I'm a big, fan of, listening to podcasts about Star Wars. And Sam Witwer, who's a huge Star Wars legend and alum in the whole Star Wars universe, he makes a joke in one of the commentaries. He's like, with the first Death Star, New Hope, they destroyed it, but they almost won. The Empire did. So why don't you go back and build another one? If you almost worked, just tweak your plan. And it was cool that they brought it back, because really, honestly, it did almost work. The Death Star almost worked. So I would have just came back, tweaked it, got rid of all the bullshit, dumb stuff about the Death Star, and just brought it back as stronger and better. And they did. But again, you know, the Empire didn't think, and they did the same old thing. But I like that they brought that component back, which is really cool. Another thing I like about the film, Han Solo was brought back. It was awesome that they rescued him. Lando Calrissian had a bigger role in this movie because he was a jerk in Empire Strikes Back. He betrayed his friends, but now he's a general and he's leading in charge. He's leading the charge for the rebellion into the fight the Death Star, which is cool to see. Leia got more development. You got to see you find out that Leia and Luke are twin brother and sister. You find out that she is Force sensitive. You find out that, you know, Obi-Wan and Yoda finally tell the truth about this to Luke, and that was cool to see that scene. You know, it was cool to see Obi-Wan talk about, hey, you know, Anakin and I were boys, we were friends, he was a great pilot, I trained him, but it just didn't go right. But it's also cool that, you know, Luke and Obi-Wan talked about how to next handle this, and Luke's like, I can't kill him, I'm not going to destroy my father, I'm going to bring him back from the dark side. And Obi-Wan and Yoda's like, no, you got to destroy him. And I'm happy that Luke ignored them, because Luke is now that true Jedi. He's like, listen, I'm not going to attack him. I'm going to fight in defense. I'm not going to be aggressive about it. That's how he became who he is, by being aggressive. And Luke was like, hey, that's the old way of the Jedi. I'm doing it different. And it was cool to see that. So I like that about that. Another thing I like about the movie, just the space battles. The space battles, especially with the Death Star scene, was cool. That battle was that's one of my favorite battles of all time to watch. See how, you know, the rebels were outgunned and outmatched, but they held their own, you know, with the Star Destroyers, with the big super Death Star. Was seeing that was dope. And Lando, the scene when they do the trench run inside of the Death Star was pretty badass. I really love that part. It's one of my favorite scenes of all time in this movie. And also the speeder bike chase was pretty cool to see that. I wasn't surprised that it turned out the way it did. Luke and Leia are badasses. Luke was just the man in this one, just kicking ass, and him breaking out his lightsaber and cutting mofos up. That was pretty cool to see that. So, my only weakness about this movie were the Ewoks, because they're little Ewoks, and I don't know, we could have done without it. It is what it is, but you know, it happens. And I guess George wanted to make them, they wanted to make them Wookiees, didn't have the money in the budget, so they made them Ewoks. And I guess my only negative, this is nitpicky, would have to be the last scene when Darth Vader makes the change to destroy the Emperor. That he, you know, said just looking and looking and looking and throws him over the ledge. He looks and says, no. And people, look, I didn't mind it. It does get a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. George didn't have to do that. He chose to do it. It's his baby. He has the right to do so. But a lot of fans didn't like that. And I get it, fans. Like, I'm on your side partly too, but I'm also on George's side with this. So those are my only negatives about the film. I think this film is very well done. It's a great story. And think about it. George did a great job of telling us a great story in this film. And, you know, in today's movies, Return of the Jedi probably wouldn't get made because of how the story was told. Like, we have Darth Vader. It'd pretty much be, Luke, go fight Vader. It's over. But they brought the Emperor in and said, hey, he's the even stronger character. You know, and a lot of these studios probably wouldn't like that. They just want to go get to the action, blah, 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 don't tell a great story. But I'm happy that, you know, Lucasfilm did it. And I'm happy that Disney bought Lucasfilm, because they're all about telling stories. And I think that this is going to carry over into new films. And we clearly saw that with The Force Awakens this past year. So it's in good hands with Disney. It is what it is. I'm going to grade this movie as go see this mofo. It's no surprise. It's a great film. Star Wars is epic. It is what it is. But no, have you seen Return of the Jedi? Are you going to see it? Did you like it? Didn't you like it? Let me know. Leave your comments down below. Before I finish up this video, I want to give a quick thank you to all you guys. Reason why I'm doing this thank you is because, you know, I just hit 50 subscribers today. And I want to say thank you. You know, I started this channel like 4 months ago. And I didn't know that I was going to even get people to subscribe to it. And I'm happy that people did. You know, this is something that I do for fun. It's a hobby. You know, I'm a graduate student. Actually, I'm about to graduate with my master's this week. But no, I just do this for fun, and also I work. So I'm just busy throughout the week, but I try to get as many videos I've done throughout the week. And it was cool to see that you guys actually subscribe to my channel, because it shows that you guys care and you want to watch what I do. And that's going to even motivate me more, just to make sure I'm giving out good content and just being there for you guys, because I consider this a family thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all in this together. So I appreciate you guys watching. And I just want to say thank you, and let's hope to get to 100 in a couple months, and then 150 and 200. Just keep it growing, man. That'd be awesome. Just keep this community going. So I want to say thank you, and I appreciate it, and I hope you guys keep watching. So there you have it, folks. My review of Return of the Jedi. And my thank you to you for subscribing. Like I always say, comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you. Peace.
What up? Hey, shout it what it is. What up? Hey, shout it what it is. What up? Hey, shout it what it is. Little buddy, what you on? Some violent shit. Two-stepping, laid back, still.